Hi everyone, welcome to the Crafty Yarn Podcast episode 9. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Samantha, and we're a mother and daughter from Australia.
So we haven't got an awful lot of projects to share with you this week, and we haven't got any finished objects, so we're going to jump straight into what's on our hooks.
Last time I just started the Blueberry Muffin Shawl, which is a pattern by Lisa Cook from the Delicious Crochet Shawls book. And that's this one here. I've actually made quite a lot of progress since last time. I've been really enjoying working on this project. So it's using the yarn Calypso Pressed Lavender from the Bendigo Woolen Mills. So last time I'd only just started, I was down here, and I've done all of that. I actually only had the one ball of yarn, and I knew that I was going to have to buy a second ball, so I've ordered one. But when I got to the halfway point, or almost the halfway point, I wasn't going to have enough yarn to finish, and that would have meant I would have had to buy another 2 balls of yarn. So I cut down on one of the pattern repeats, and now I have actually started doing the decreasing, so I'm heading back down the other way. But I think even though I've cut down one whole repeat of the pattern, it's actually still going to be a nice size, because I didn't actually want a huge shawl. And when it's blocked out, I think it'll actually be perfect. So I'm really excited with this project and really enjoying working on it.
I think it's definitely a better fit for that yarn.
I do agree, because it's really soft and drapey, whereas the shawl the shawl I was making before was quite rigid and stiff. So yeah, I really think I've made the right choice by starting again.
Definitely. So my first project is something that I've started since the last time, and it is another angel wing shawl, which is what's up on the mannequin over there. So the yarn is Bendigo Woolen Mills multicoloured 4-ply sock yarn, which is a gorgeous yarn to work with, and it's in the colourway Pastel Dreams. And then this little ruffle edging here, I did that in a plain merino 4-ply from Bendigo in just a pink. And I had always planned on making a second one because I had 4 balls of this sock yarn. And I was going to put a blue edging on it, but this one has actually, I'll show you, turned out quite differently in colour to the original. I feel like there's a lot more green in this one. And so I felt like the blue wasn't going to be a good match on the edge. So I've just started the first row of the border. And as you can see, I've gone with the same pink. But I don't think that they look too similar because of how different the colours are in them.
I agree, yeah.
I just love making these. They're such a fun project, and I really enjoy the pattern. And really, this one's worked up very quickly. I only started it probably, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I just started on the ruffle edging last night. So I'm excited to get this one finished. It should be finished in a few days, and I'll have that to show you next time.
The next project I've been working on is my Star Stitch Glovelets, which is a pattern by Nancy Said. So this was my glove, which I finished quite a while ago. Last time I'd only just started the second glove, so I was down here, and I've worked all the way up to there. So I think I've only got 2, maybe 3 repeats, and I'll be ready to join the gloves together and do the finishing touches. But as I said, now that I've got back into it, I'm really, really enjoying it, so I'm quite keen to get it finished. And this was using the yarn from Spotlight, the magenta pure wool yarn, and it's a 5mm crochet hook that I use.
I love the colour of that. It's
I do agree, it's
stunning.
beautiful, yeah.
My next project is also from the Delicious Crochet Shawls book by Lisa Cook. And the project that I've been working on is the Earl Grey shawl, which is that one there. So this is using a 5-ply yarn, and I am using a 100% organic wool, and it's sort of like a tweed texture. So I'm making it in this black colourway, which I felt like that would just be a really good wardrobe staple to go with a lot of things. And I forgot to put a marker in, but I feel like I've made a reasonable amount of progress since last time. But this is quite hard going, of course, because it is black. But I'm really enjoying it, and I don't know whether it really shows up, but there's these rows of like bobble stitches, and they're a sort of bobble stitch that I've never done before, but they're actually really fun, and I'm really enjoying working on this.
been working on this cardigan from well, it's more like a jacket from Ladylike in Crochet. This is the one here. So I've been working on that for a few weeks or months now, I suppose. Now, I was going along really, really well, and I had completed my first front, which is that there, and I started on the second front. And I've been crocheting along, and I got to the point here where I think I was ready to decrease for the little shoulder bit. And Caitlin was looking at it. She said, I think you've done 2 of the same fronts, and sure enough, I have. So I've actually got 2 identical front pieces instead of one for the left and one for the right. So now I'm going to have to unpick the whole thing and start all over again, which is really sad because I was thinking that I was ready to move on to the sleeves, but
I'm sorry.
these are the joys of crochet, aren't they? So next time I need to be more mindful and perhaps look at the pattern in more closer detail. But it's a learning experience, so yes. And
it is looking gorgeous.
It is looking lovely, and if only there were 2 different ones, I'd be set. So this is the yarn here I've been using is the Bendigo Woolen Mills Classic in the colourway Ensign, and I've been using a 4.5mm hook. Luckily, it's an enjoyable pattern, and I don't mind starting again.
And it does work up reasonably.
It does work up quite quickly, yes. So that's set me back quite a bit on that one.
So our last project is something that we're both working on together, and if you've been watching us for a while, you will know all about our crochet sock saga with all of the iterations of different patterns that we've never been able to make work. And we have started a new one. So it's from Simply Crochet issue 116, and they're the Tinsel Toes socks. So these are worked cuff down, but you start on like the leg portion and then go back and work the cuff afterwards. And so far they're stretchy enough and big enough to get on over our heels. So I'm using this yarn here. I'm really not, I think it's a Fiddlesticks yarn, but it's discontinued and I bought it quite a while ago. But it's got these gorgeous colours in it. And I've only made a small start, but that's it there. So it's more sort of like open than the previous sock, the Sweetheart sock by Vicki Brown. And I think that it's working out a bit better. Like it's got quite a bit more stretch in it.
I think it's got a lot more stretch than the previous one.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I think that because the stitches were so small, it was quite sort of dense and it just wasn't stretching.
Yes.
But I'm hoping that this one is going to be good, and I'm really liking actually how the colours are sort of striping into it. I think it's really, really pretty. So that's mine. What about yours?
So I'm using a yarn that I bought in Spotlight quite a while ago, and that's mine there. So I think it's actually looking really pretty too. The stitch pattern is really quite nice, isn't it? But yeah, it has got a lot more stretch, so I'm hoping that it'll be a better sock.
I love how that plum colour sort of comes through in yours.
Yeah, it is nice.
Looks really pretty.
So hopefully next time we'll have a bit more work on those.
Because we'd really like to wear them, but we just had so many problems.
Yeah, that's, well, they do say that crochet socks are harder to do than knitted socks.
Yeah. But like if this pattern works out for us, it would be a good pattern to go back to and make multiple versions of. So that's all that we've got to show you today. I hope you've enjoyed watching.
Until next time, happy crafting.
My next project is from the Earl of...
That's a blooper!